Kim said, my name is Samantha Johnson. I serve as the counselor on the LPC on the Bryan campus. I'm housed in the Advising and Counseling Office in the Science Building on the first floor. So if you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have about anything that really relates to mental health. I also come to classes. If you're professors, I come to classes to give quick spiels on what I do, why I'm here, what I see students for, and those kind of things. So what we're going to be talking about today is assertiveness and the different types of communication styles. And then at the end, we'll do some role playing. Everyone will partner up, and we'll do some of the exercises. So the purple sheet that you got is the Assertive Bill of Rights. This is just rights that you have for yourself, that you can do these things. These are completely assertive behaviors, and so they're things that are good to put up in your offices to remind yourself that these are your assertive rights, and you can share them with anybody you feel needs them as well. So there are many different styles of communication, and people struggle to communicate effectively because everyone has a different style and a different personality. And this can really come into effect professionally because you're having to deal with so many different people. You're also dealing with students. And so having that assertive communication is going to help. And so there's a little video. I don't know if that's the soda size. No, go back one. Yeah. Okay.
Second one.
Oh, hello.
Recently, many of the local restaurants have changed their small size option to a whopping 64 ounces. That's correct. And it's great for the consumer. More bang for the buck. Are we putting bargains on trial here?
How could any sane person call that small?
Well, if the customer truly wants a smaller size, there is an option.
Oh, do you mean the little swallow?
Is anybody like that? Some of us dollhouses, but they're not very popular. I mean, for only a nickel more, get 64 ounces.
Well, Paunchburger just recently came out with a new 128-ounce option. Most people call it a gallon, but they call it the regular. Then there is a horrifying 512-ounce version. Oh my gosh! That they call child size. Child size soda.
Well, it's roughly the size of a 2-year-old child. Child real bargain.
I'm sorry, Miss Pinewood, but why would anybody need this much soda?
It's not my place to speak for the consumer, but
I think that's somewhat assertive behavior. Like this is, why would we want to have this soda bottle? Bottom right.
I'm not real good at this.
Amen.
Amen.
We're all learning together.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so effective communication is a set of learned skills. So assertive behavior is not something that necessarily comes naturally. It's things that you're going to have to practice and learn. And so it enables you to get a message across to people. It expresses how you feel. The other person receives feedback. It's an open communication. And you're listening without judging the other person. So you'll make statements to match intentions, be assertive, and have active listening skills. So there are 4 different types of communication styles. There's aggressive, there's passive-aggressive, and then there's assertive. So you'll see up at the top, the aggressive style is what you want, the passive style is what other people want, and then assertive is kind of right there in the middle. It can have some overlap. So we're going to go into the different styles. So you have the passive, the aggressive, and the assertive person in all the different areas. So the passive person is afraid to speak up for themselves. The aggressive person is going to be interruptive. They're going to talk over other people, whereas the assertive person is just going to speak openly. Passive person is going to speak real softly, real quiet. Aggressive person is going to speak real loud, whereas the assertive person is going to use a very conversational tone that's kind of flat across the board. Passive person's not going to look at you when they're talking to you. The aggressive person is going to glare at you. And then the assertive person is going to make good eye contact. So you'll see through there that they all have that similar of what they do. So you'll see at the bottom it says the passive person is you're okay, but I'm not. The aggressive person is I'm okay, but you're not. And then the assertive person is I'm okay, you're okay. They're both okay. And I sent this presentation to Kim, so I can send it to anybody that's interested in having it as well. I'm more than happy. So the aggressive style, we're going to talk about the aggressive style. You don't have to say who, you can just raise your hand how many of you know somebody that has an aggressive style of communication. Right? We won't say names, but we all know somebody that has that aggressive style of communication. So their nonverbal signals, they're shouting, they have a very loud voice, they'll be pointing their finger at you, they will fold their arms across themselves and kind of glare at you. They'll have still posture, very powerful, very controlling. Their key words that you'll hear are you'd better, if you don't, watch out, bad, you should, stupid, you, pointing the finger. That's their communication style.
Do we hear that from students?
Probably yes. The aggressive style is all about intimidating other people. They create resentment between those individuals. They discourage people from making demands. They feel like they're powerful because they are controlling everything around them. They make people angry when they just blow off steam because that doesn't go across very well to other people. And so this type of person, you might feel powerful temporarily, but then they guilt others for hurting others, and they can set in self-justifications about our behavior. So it ends up hurting people. So 10 ways to respond to aggression. 1 is reflection. Demonstrate the message that is being received. Tell them, hey, you're pointing your finger in my face. That's not coming across to me very well. Repeated assertion. You can point out assumptions based on the aggressor's opinion. A lot of times it's their opinion and not yours. Using I statements. That's really important. Never say you, I can't believe you. It's always, well, I feel this way because. I think this because. Ask them questions. It's okay to ask questions to make sure you're understanding them correctly. Paradoxical statements, so making others realize that aggression could backfire on them, that it's not a way, it's not a healthy communication style. Time out, take a step back, pause for a moment. It's okay to say, well, I think this conversation is getting a little out of control. I need to walk away for 5 minutes, or we meet tomorrow to talk about this because it's getting a little out of control. Repeat back, what do you think I'm asking for? Trying to understand where they're coming from. Feedback reversal, clarify what they're trying to say. And clipping. So when you do not feel like responding, answer yes or no. So passive style, that's the next one. The nonverbal signs are a whiny voice. So anybody know a passive style person? Yeah, a couple people. Clenched, wringing hands, they shuffle their feet, they look down a lot. They stoop, kind of like putting their shoulders over, like clenching. You'll hear keywords like maybe, I guess, I wonder, oh, sorry. Would you mind this? Excuse me, but I hope you don't mind. But not in a very nice, good manner, kind of please. They're very passive in their style.
Are these styles, are they something that's learned, or is it something that, or it's a personality trait we're born with?
I think it's both. Everyone has their genetic makeup, but it depends on how you were raised. And some people were raised in aggressive homes, some people are raised in passive homes. But we can all, no matter where we come from, we can all learn how to be assertive if we know the tips and the techniques to use. So it's definitely something that can be helpful. So passive style, people give in to unreasonable demands. They go along with the crowd. They avoid offering any sort of opinion. They avoid giving negative feedback. They don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so they don't want to say anything. They avoid doing or saying anything that might attract disapproval. And they give control to other people of their own lives even when they don't want to do something. So they're handing over control. So you'll see passive-aggressive style is our next way, so it kind of combines both things we already talked about. It allows us to attack other people or get our way without having to actually take responsibility for our behavior. So passive-aggressive is actually, I feel like, one of the most dangerous styles. Anybody passive-aggressive know somebody passive-aggressive? Yeah, they're not fun to deal with. They undermine their coworkers by bad-mouthing them to the boss, right? That's one way. They accidentally spill a soft drink on someone, right? They don't have time to do a favor that they promised originally. Oh, I'm so sorry that I didn't do that. They do the house chores badly enough so someone else will do it for them in the future. They kind of sabotage it, like, oh, if I just don't do the laundry very good, maybe I put some pink shirts in with the white, then I won't have to do it again. And then we have the video.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
That's pretty passive aggressive. I don't know if any of y'all know the relationship between Michael Scott and Toby in the office, but it can be pretty passive aggressive. That's what not to do in the workplace, right? Don't do that. So the passive-aggressive style is based on the misperception that there are not consequences of being deniably aggressive. So they are aggressive, but they're kind of doing it in a backdoor kind of way. So eventually, others are going to see that they're unreliable, that they're disorganized, and that they're inconsiderate. Those things are going to come through. So their communication reflects, I count, and then you don't count, but I'm not going to tell you that you don't count. So they don't purposely come out and say that I'm aggressive. I count, but you don't know that you don't really count. And then we have the assertive style, which is the one that we would hope that everyone can learn to be in both their professional and their personal life. So their nonverbal signals: calm, controlled voice, a relaxed position, direct eye contact, not glaring, but direct eye contact, and they're upright. They have good posture. So their keywords are I think, I feel, I want. It's those I statements that I mentioned earlier. Let's, how can we resolve this together? What do you think? What do you see? It's really getting other people involved. So this recognizes that you're in charge of your own behavior and that you decide what you will and you will not do, right? So that's kind of the Bill of Rights, that you have your own rights, that you can decide what you're going to do or what you're not. It also acknowledges that others are in charge of their own behavior. You're not trying to control anybody else, that they're in charge of their own behavior and you're in charge of your own behavior. I do it in counseling a lot. I tell students, I'm like, put your arms in front of you. See that? If you put this, see this is all in life that you can control, is between you and the circle. You can't go throw your arm around somebody else, say, I'm going to control you. That does not work. So all you can do is control your behavior inside your little circle and control what you do and what you say. And if someone reacts in a negative way towards you, then maybe it's time to walk away from those, right? So all you can control is you. You do not attempt to take control from others, that you don't want to take control from other people. You relate to others without conflict or minimalizing the conflict. You're more relaxed around others. You're open. You're not a closed door kind of policy. People feel like they can come to you. And you focus on the present. You don't focus on what's happened in the past between your relationship, and you don't focus on the future. Because we can't change anything about the past, and we can't predict the future. So it's only about what's in the present. So this is kind of a diagram of, you're going to state the problem, explain the problem, listen and respect what the other person has to say, right? Be prepared for whatever their reaction is going to be, because it may or may not be the way you want it to be. And then have a conversation about that. And that's kind of the circle of communication. So there's some steps to being positive. Prepare for a neutral conversation by first diffusing your own emotions until the other person is less reactive. So you deliver your message briefly and directly, right? Don't beat around the bush. Come just straight forward. Be respectful. Reflectively listen. Sometimes that's really hard to have active listening because we just automatically start tuning somebody out, but really paying attention to what they're saying and listening. Reassert your message to make sure that you're understanding what each other are trying to say, and then focus on a solution. What's the solution to the problem? So assertive communication tips: express your needs, your wants, your feelings directly and honestly. Don't try and hide anything. Keep your body relaxed and your movements casual. No pointing in the finger like the aggressive person does. Recognize that your needs and the needs of other people are equally important. You are not better than them. They're not better than you. You are equal. Each person has a right to their own needs and their opinions. And express yourself without having to win every single time. A lot of people feel like, well, I have to win this conversation. It's okay not to win the conversation. So assess your style. Do you voice your opinions or do you stay silent? Do you use I statements, letting others know what you're actually thinking rather than beating around the bush? Do you practice saying no? Because a lot of times we don't say no to things. Like maybe we have a lot on our plate already, and we just say yes to everything because we don't want to hurt anybody else's feelings. Maybe we should learn to say no so we can do what we already have on our plate really well, right? Be direct. Rehearse what you want to say. It's really good to actually write down what you're planning on having the conversation, your ideas, your thoughts, so that way when you go to them, you're prepared to what you're going to say. And practice those scenarios that you think are going to happen. Use body language. There's not just verbal communication. There's nonverbal communication. You might be saying something super nice, but if your face is really mean, they're not going to take that very well, right? Sometimes the nonverbal cues are more important than what you're actually saying. People pick up on that kind of stuff. Keep emotions in check. Feelings are normal, but they do get in the way of resolving conflict. And start small. Practice your new skills in a low-risk environment or a low-risk situation and then work your way up. So, improving your assertive behavior, stand up for one's rights, no matter what the circumstances. Correcting the situation when one's rights are being violated. Seeking respect and understanding for one's feelings about a particular situation. Interacting in a mature manner to those that are offensive, defensive, hostile, attacking, or otherwise unacceptable. Be mature. Be the better person in that situation. Direct behavior, using I statements like we already talked about. Finding a win-win solution to handling problems between two individuals. It doesn't always have to be you that be a winner. Win-win. Taking the risk of being misunderstood as aggressive. Being able to protect one's rights while protecting and respecting the rights of others. Risk-taking behavior that is not ruled by fear of rejection or disapproval, but is directed by the rational belief that I deserve to stand up for my own rights. I deserve to have my own opinion. And I have the right to say, well, I just don't know. Maybe I need to research that and find out and not have an answer. It's okay to say I know. I don't know. Rational thinking and the self-affirmation of personal worth, respect, and rights. Everybody has personal worth. And a healthy style in which to conduct interpersonal relationships. So those are ways to improve. So a good exercise to do is called DESI. It's a communication style. Direct communication, feelings, boundaries, and responsibilities. So in DESI communication, you can practice this. You describe like a reporter. You say that person's name. So Kim, when you are mean to me or when you say these things to me, it makes me feel like I'm worthless. That's where you go into the emotions. You name it. When you or I feel, and so you go into the emotions, making it about you, not about them. It's diffusing that situation. So a lot of times if you say, you did this and you did that, they get defensive and then they're yelling at you and then the whole problem just escalates out of control. So describe like a reporter, talk about your emotions, and then state what you need. Why is that bothering you? And then your responsibility is to engage with a question. Do you think we can work this out? Do you think, what is the solution to this problem? So DESI, direct communications.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. So DESI is a good exercise.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Okay. So the Assertive Bill of Rights is definitely for you to keep. What we're going to do now is do some assertive role playing. Each of you have a white sheet. You're going to partner up with somebody in here. And you're going to practice 3 of the 10 scenarios. So there's 10 different scenarios on the front and back. Choose 3 of them to practice with your partner. And rotate the style of communication. So you'll see up here they have the different styles with the numbers. Where if you did number 1, one person's aggressive while the other person's aggressive. And each scenario do a different number of a style of communication with each other. And then, after we do that, I'm going to give you all a little time to practice that. We're going to choose one group to demonstrate in front of everyone. So, so partner up and practice.
Actually,
I need one.
Here, take this one.
Ron and I have a history. I mean, we're going to engage. So I just want you to understand that this is truly personal. And, but now that he's been moved to another building, I can tell him what I really think. You know, you really should think about.
This to arrive.
Oh, he's bringing out money already.
And function effectively.
Maybe it's.
So, what would we do? As the aggressive reason.
There
you go.
When you're
What would you do as passive aggressive?
Can't handle that.
What would you do as
Even tangentially related to the exercise we're about to perform.
Yeah, started.
Okay.
Get in. We'll have a question.
Okay. Very good, Bill.
You asked for it. You asked for it.
Scenario number 9. Yeah.
This is what happens when you take
Well, we're only going to do 3. Weren't you listening? You need to listen.
Okay,
Yeah, they won't let you do it.
in an expensive car with you.
Yeah, I read your mind. I was glad. I mean, I guess I'm glad.
And if you were to car out,
The thing is that's
that's your present one?
Why don't you look at the color? That's not good enough.
Sorry, ma'am, that's pretty good.
Sorry.
Y'all got it.
Oh, I'm sure you probably had a bad day. Can I get your information?
planning is a lot more scary than the
Sorry, man.
Okay, so
That's all we had to do.
I should be agreeing.
One more.
One more. You need to have a really quiet. This should you should tell them.
yourself. So people like me, okay, sitting there making clues while you have a nice response.
Yes. I laughed at you
I think that was really more passive aggressive. The little puppy's got teeth. We're hoping we're trying to do number 1.
Say anything. But it's true.
I don't find mistake. You know,
That's not passive. That's aggressive. Keep going.
and I understand
Oh, golly, yeah. Hey, get my money's worth. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. I'm
got you planned fly in and order it. I've got you in a days in.
Great.
Now, you have to be resort for them to
Let's do practice. Being around school every day.
Come on.
So it got you not the YMCA.
I need to record something.
They have to do every year.
You teach us all the stuff, like the difference between step out of the car,
I've never seen my face was
not being mean, but you're not leaving any room.
people have had it in other places.
Good stuff. He used to teach us at 80%.
I figured I might have. Yeah, you could be telling someone the nicest thing forward while I'm sorry.
And I never looked like the stars. They got a 3-day. They kick out the park again. Okay, this really isn't you, because God knows where yeah, you can I'm actually going to yes.
Also, wait to quiet down.
I think that's part of what they're trying to do. We're far more passive. I don't. I personally don't understand why you came up with this plan, but I'm fully willing to admit that to somebody somewhere it makes sense. But to me, I just don't.
Well, howdy!
I know.
Well, howdy!
Howdy!
There we go. That's what I do, Maddie. So how'd it go?
We only got 2.
That's okay. Solved all your problems. That's amazing what assertive behavior is.
I think you need to get these 2.
That's exactly.
We were at it.
We were up here and I was like, I know exactly which group I was in.
Good.
I love it. So would you guys be willing to come up and demonstrate what you practiced for the whole group? So you'll stand up and demonstrate one of them for us. All right. Yay for volunteers. So which one one, which scenario are you going to be demonstrating for?
We are doing scenario number 9.
Okay, great.
Since it happened.
Scenario 9, okay.
And we're doing, you want us to just
Yes.
tell you
Which one are you going to
we're doing?
How about we guess which one?
Okay.
Y'all just do it.
How about we read it off so
Sure.
that the people listening to
So scenario 9.
Oh, guys, wait. I don't want to do it if there's people.
There's no video.
They're
It's
not
just audio.
watching.
It's just audio.
It's you were in the park. No, I'm sure. So scenario 9 is you were in the car park at Tesco in an expensive car, which you have borrowed from a friend that day. As you were reversing the car out of its space, another car runs into it. Oh no. All right. Y'all demonstrate for us, and then we'll try and guess which behavior, style of communication they're doing.
I'm driving like an ass. I'm sorry.
Passive aggressive.
Don't look.
I'm from Houston.
I love acting.
You stupid! You didn't even signal. I can't believe you were coming right there and you just have no right. You don't even pay attention.
Be quiet! Hey, I don't want to hear anything you got to
This is
say.
my friend's car.
I
I
don't
can't
care
believe
whose car it
it.
is.
Look at what you did, you stupid son of a bitch.
If you would not have backed out, there wouldn't have been
It's your fault. You came
I
running.
don't care.
You were speeding. I was
Be
backing
quiet.
up. I was
That's
speeding.
enough.
No, I'm not being quiet.
shut
You
your
are so
mouth.
stupid.
So which style?
No!
Which style are they doing? Both aggressive.
Yeah.
Got it.
Wasn't passive?
Yeah, let's do another.
You want to do one more?
Okay.
Which other one did y'all practice?
I want to see passive. Okay.
What other scenario did you guys practice?
Well, we also did number 7. It happens a lot.
So number 7 is you delegated some work to someone else and it hasn't been done properly. It's a big mess and it needs sorting out. Y'all can choose what you want to do.
This one.
So this will be even better.
Do what
So you're the boss who gave me the work.
I gave you that work to do, and it came back so screwed up. I guess I just didn't manage my time good enough. This is all my fault. I just shouldn't have asked somebody else to do it. I need to start just trying to do my own work.
It's okay, Nancy.
Don't-
I mean,
No, I'm so sorry.
I had trouble doing this too.
Don't worry about it. I'll be okay. I'll stay after work again, and it's gonna be okay.
Oh, it's my fault. I should have gotten it too. But, we work at blank. It's not going to It's done when it gets done.
Our manager.
Alright, come to me. Okay, so what were they doing?
Assertive.
Passive aggressive.
Passive.
Oh, passive.
Both saying, well, I shouldn't have done. I'm sorry. I should.
Well, Ron and I were talking about when we tried to do passive.
Well, you
We
guys
always
get up
slipped
here.
into passive aggressive. I mean,
Yeah.
we always went to
Somebody will take the
passive-aggressive.
roles.
I mean, we have a hard time with passive.
Thank you for volunteering.
I did aggressive.
They did the aggressive very well. I think it's easy for people to slip into that role. They're like, just be quiet.
Back here, he said,
Just say it. So remember that the assertive behavior is a I win and you win. They care about themselves, but they also care about the other person. Remember that the aggressive is an I win, you lose, that they care only about themselves and that they don't care about other people. That the passive person is I don't care about myself and I care about you. I lose, you win. And that the passive aggressive is just a lose-lose all across the board. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about you. So just remember that little diagram. Any questions about anything?
Good show.
The only thing I was going to say, when you put up that last one was, I think the passive person, it says up there, I don't care about me, I care about you. But I think the passive person cares a lot about themselves.
Yeah, they can.
And it's just that they're so scared that they might say something that would offend somebody else, that to protect their ego, they're going to, whatever you
Kind of
say.
like what he was saying earlier when they both were playing passive, they slipped into that passive-aggressive style pretty easy.
I think more about conflict.
conflict avoidance than about risk.
And that definitely does not work in our professional life, right? Then things just build up and build up. And then at some point, when you're pushing all that stuff down, even though you might be a passive or passive-aggressive person, at some point, something's going to trigger that, and you're going to explode. And it's probably going to be on somebody that didn't cause the problem, right? So a lot of that kind of happens. A lot of the examples are you get really mad at your boss at work, and then you hold all that in, you don't say anything to them, but when you get home, you yell at your kids, right? So you pass it on, and then it just is a continuous crazy cycle of bad communication. So, any questions?
I got one.
Yeah.
When you have a student that violates rules and you're trying to explain the rules, and they keep making it maybe a little like, well, that's your perception. They just like to argue.
Right. They like
make
to
it
argue
clear
with
that
you.
they love to argue. And you just feel like you're just going like this constantly. Do you have any suggestions on?
Yes, and that happens a lot in the advising office, especially here in the last couple weeks when we were telling them, no, you can't switch classes anymore. That's over. So when they came in, they didn't understand the policy, and so what we would do in the office, sometimes they don't feel like the front desk staff is in a place of authority when really they probably know more than anybody else. And so they would come out there, we'd politely introduce ourselves. How are you doing today? Making sure you're making yourself human to them. And I explain the policy. This is Blend's policy as a whole. It's not going to be changed. If you want to talk to somebody, I can provide you some information of who made these rules. This is the rule I'm enforcing. I can't make any changes for you. I'm not in an authority position. But maybe you should go to the advising office and talk to them in advance next semester about your classes, or what kind of policy have you encountered with a student, like an example?
Coming in like I work nursing.
Okay.
And so last year we ripped students up so many times for such uncivil behavior. Just starting fights. We wanted to basically we did not think she would take care of people.
Right.
But as it ended up, is this going out to everybody? Everyone?
I can stop the recording.
Yeah, go ahead and stop it.